Mrs. Threepwood.
Alright.
Please tell the court how this horrible pox is all LeChuck's
Yes,
fault.
please.
LeChuck? That stick in the mud wouldn't know a good pox if it kicked him in the fundament. Heck, there wouldn't even be a pox if you'd gone through with the voodoo lady's recipe properly. But no, you had to wave that root beer bottle around like some sort of conquering hero. Oh, look at me! I be Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate! Next thing I know, you tried to replace root beer with root grog and bam! Pox all over the place. Not that I'm complaining, mind you.
Okay.
Not helping.
Honey, why don't you please tell everyone how I've been trying to find a cure for the pox?
Don't you honey me, you two-timing cannon scrubber. I bet all this talk of looking for La Esponja Grande was all plot to spend time canoodling with your little privateering she's slag.
La Esponja Grande, yes, it's right over there, see?
Sure it is.
Could you give the court some idea of what a fine, upstanding pirate your husband is?
Well, let's see. When I first met him, he was breaking into my mansion to steal a statue.
Yeah.
Later, after shanghaiing a crew to take him to Monkey Island, he
You know.
totally failed to rescue me from the evil clutches of the ghost pirate LeChuck, so I had to dress up a couple of monkeys in a bridal gown.
This may have been a bad line of questioning.
Then he left me hanging over a pit while he went looking for the treasure of Big Whoop. I didn't hear from him for 3 years after that.
You
Turned
know.
me into a bleeding
That was game 3.
left the seat up. Oh, and that's not even mentioning all the times I found myself tied up, manacled, or otherwise incarcerated because of his blithering idiocy!
You're too good for him, love.
Shave his belly with a rusty razor.
Okay.
I'd like a second to think about my next move, Your Honor.
Make it fast! Your character witness is oozing all over my courtroom.
Do I need to somehow
Hey,
know?
hardtack.
Defense will refrain from addressing the bailiff in open court.
Sorry. Your Honor, Buccaneers of Flotsam.
There we
You all
go.
believe
So I
that
just need to.
Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate, have brought this horrible pox to your shores.
Off with it,
Run him off
Feed
the
it to
plank.
the jungle beast!
What if I were to tell you that I could tame this unruly witness, prove my good intentions, and begin the process of curing you all of this hideous voodoo pox, all in one fell swoop?
I don't know, but
Feed it to
maybe.
the jungle beast!
Your Honor, I object. Defense is grasping at sponge-shaped straws here.
Denied! But get on with it, Captain. The hangman gets overtime if we keep him up after midnight.
Yeah.
With pleasure, Your Honor. Wenches and pirates, I give you Exhibit S, the wonder of La Esponja Grande.
I thought it'd be bigger.
Now behold, as a simple exfoliating motion of La Esponja Grande washes away the pox, restoring my wife to her usual, mostly pleasant demeanor.
That did not.
Sugar cakes?
Off with it, head!
Get that piece of seaweed off me, you deep-sea doily diver!
Does the defense have any other pointless arguments it would like to make?
This is sort of all I got.
Then, by the power vested in me by the put-upon pirates of Flotsam Island,
that was my only defense.
I summarily sentence you to be hanged by your pox-spreading neck until you are right there.
What? Woof.
What is the meaning of this? My name is LeChuck, and I can tell you exactly what Guybrush did.
LeChuck? I thought he was a ghost. I heard he was a zombie.
Don't listen
He's
to him.
both, but
See,
don't
Your
ask.
Honor, the pox is all my fault.
Listen to him.
For decades, I dabbled in the dark forces of voodoo, clamoring for power. I hungered for it. I yearned for it. I pillaged, plundered, and killed for it.
I can attest to all of this.
And it was my
Yes, we can.
accumulated voodoo that infected you all. Dark, evil voodoo that was explosively released when I was once again defeated by the perpetually heroic Guybrush Threepwood.
He's not kidding. I've killed him like 5 times.
So you see, Guybrush
It's true.
Threepwood is not the source of this pox. I am. And I hereby throw myself upon the mercy of this court, or lack thereof.
Off with your head!
But wait, there's more. It turns out I had an unknown silent power urging me down those darkened voodoo corridors. A power far more insidious than I could ever hope to be. I submit to the court this journal, property of
Okay.
the... Quiet up there! The voodoo lady.
Ooh, that creepy lady who lives in the shack?
What the what?
In these pages, you will find detailed plans laid out by the voodoo lady over the course of many years to manipulate my never-ending rise to power. My hunger
What?
for voodoo, my seemingly endless cycle of ironically comical death and disturbing resurrection. My obsession with the darling Elaine. It's all because of her.
Off with her head! Lead him to the jungle beast!
It can't be true. Can it?
Order! Order! I hereby call for the release of Guybrush Threepwood and the immediate imprisonment of LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady! To the brig with both of them!
I've had it up to me eye patch with all this land-loving lollygagging. I'm off to plunder me some treasure.
Don't worry about me, my friend. Go cure your wife.
Okay then.
Well, I'm finally free, but now my pox-crazed wife is nowhere to be found. A mad scientist is hunting her for who knows what reason, and the legendary voodoo sponge that was supposed to cure her has turned out to be useless. Under normal circumstances, I'd ask the voodoo lady for help, but she's sitting in the jail cell next to my archenemy, who may or may not be my best friend, after it's been revealed that she's been the secret power behind most of my travails over most of my life as a pirate. Maybe I should have been a beekeeper like my Uncle Sid.
Yeah, what... Okay then. That... I started to like the whole voodoo lady, and I'm kind of suspicious of her now. This is...
Chuck!
Guybrush!
Yeah.
I would have bet my good hand I'd never say this, but thank you
For what? I've caused you nothing but despair.
for taking the fall back there, and for exposing the voodoo lady. I don't know what to make of any of it, but now I can focus on saving Elaine and dealing with the pox.
It is the very least I could do. But be careful, Guybrush.
I'm always careful.
This from the guy who proposed to his wife with a cursed engagement ring you stole from my hold.
Is that a dig? Is the evil demon pirate LeChuck developing a sense of humor? This is weird.
It's beyond weird.
Where have you been? I thought you were with Elaine.
There he's with the monkeys.
After leaving Spinner Cave, Elaine and I set out to finish releasing
Yeah.
all those monkeys I'd captured. After we were finished releasing the last of them, Elaine caught wind of your trial, went into a poxed rage, seized a passing clam schooner, and made a beeline for Flotsam Island.
Gotcha.
That's my girl.
Needless to say, I took my own vessel and headed after her. But in the middle of the night, my ship was sunk by a rogue wave. I was washed up on an
Interesting.
island of cannibals, from whom I deftly escaped, using many of the self-same skills you taught me back on the Jerkbait Islands.
You're
It's
welcome.
amazing how easily man-eating tribes can be reasoned with.
Knowing I needed to get here more than ever, I lashed together a few bits of cannibal leftovers and warthog sinew to build a makeshift raft. Unfortunately, that was soon eaten by the sharks.
Of course.
No.
So I swam. I swam as fast as I could for 3 days.
And arrived just in time to save me from the gallows. Nicely done, buddy.
Nice.
I can't believe the voodoo lady has been pulling your ghostly / demonic strings all these years.
It came as a shock to me as well. But her diary spells it all out. You, me, Elaine, we're all part of the voodoo lady's malevolent plans.
Malevolence is in the eye of the beholder, Guybrush Threepwood. I know this is difficult to understand, but things are not as they seem.
No, things seem remarkably convoluted, which is what I've come to expect from you.
It's
I've
true.
always had your best interests at heart.
Well, what about my interests? Without your meddling, I could have lived a normal, happy pirate's life.
Yeah.
Ah, the destiny of LeChuck has never been normal.
Who hired this crew? This is undoubtedly the seediest bunch of cutthroats, villains, and scoundrels I have ever seen, so who hired them?
Thank you so much for that follow, Raymart. And welcome aboard the crew. And oh, that's okay. That's you were venting. Gotcha. It's like, what was that thing doing then? Okay.
I risked life, limb, and manatee to get La Esponja Grande, and it's a puny, worthless lump.
What?
Soak up the gargantuan wonder that is La Esponja Grande.
That is La Esponja Grande? But wasn't it supposed to hold infinite amounts of voodoo?
I know. What a crock.
The size of
I-
the sponge is meaningless.
I will definitely do that in a moment.
It is what you do with it that matters.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
you fight like a...
The sponge is still small.
Most unfortunate.
Oh, there it goes.
Sit tight, buddy. Once I save a lane, you're next.
Don't worry about me.
I mean, I'll whisper sweet nothings to you too. I guess.
You!
Hello, Treepwood.
You sent me on a wild albatross chase for La Esponja Grande and promised me it would cure the pox. But after fending off sexually ambiguous merpeople, a giant manatee, and your crazy ex-boyfriend, what do I get for my trouble? This sorry excuse for a kitchen sponge.
La Esponja.
Ah, I noticed you strategically left out the Grande from this worthless piece of junk. Once it cured my piddly leftover pox, it didn't have enough mojo left to cure Elaine.
It's not worthless. It is merely young. It must be brought to maturity in order to reach its voodoo-absorbing potential.
Brought to maturity? How am I supposed to do that? Give it a talk about the sponge birds and sponge bees?
Like all infants, La Esponja needs nourishment. It must be fed 6 special voodoo courses to bring it to adult size.
What sort of meal is that?
A feast for the senses. The menu, Treepwood. Take it, and serve the sponge a meal unlike any other.
And then?
It will grow.
Hey, neat. There's a map of the Flotsam Jungle on the cover. No more listening to bees and birds and boars for this mighty pirate. That's odd.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
It's like a whole new map now.
Okay then. Your wee beastie will grow to maturity. Substitutions encouraged. Alright, put on a napkin, that's a sight. A garish cloth, grotesquely bright. Alright, put on a napkin. This is gonna be all kinds of fun and confusing, I can just tell. Alright, feast for the senses. Okay.
Hey, you! Again!
So is she
Hello,
gonna give me any more
Treepwood.
hints?
You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never lied to you.
You're lying right now. All this time, I thought LeChuck was an inhuman monster. Actually, he was an inhuman monster, but only because you made him that way.
Did I? Or was I merely playing my role in a much larger play?
Stop trying to confuse me. We're tired of being puppets in your chess game.
This is no game, Treepwood.
Interesting.
Try not to get executed.
Not a
before I cure
problem.
Elaine.
We
As
should
you
still
wish.
be having good enough